The Kia Sonet is one of 2020's hottest launches. Arriving to the party late in what is a crowded segment with 5 strong players already present is never easy. But Kia has the power to surprise, doesn't it? And in keeping with our Seltos shoot last year, we have the new Sonet in very rainy weather.
It is different, but I'm not a fan of that element. I know online many of you have reacted very positively to it. I guess everybody has their own taste. The two-tone and the overall look though, yes, is very attractive, and there's a reason why I got both these cars here today. First off, remember the tagline, wild by design. Well, I've got as wild as I could to try and match that today. But before it starts raining again, the whole idea was to show you the difference between the tech line and the GT line. First up, the GT line only available as the absolute top version, GTX Plus. Unlike the Seltos, you don't get any other variants of it, but you can get it in the 1.5 diesel and the 1-litre GDI turbo petrol. You don't get it on the 1.2 Smart Stream. Now, the tech line is going to be your bread and butter basic version going all the way through the variants. So yes, you'll see more of these on the road. And so it is still a very attractive face. And if you never saw this, you'll really think that this was really nice and sporty and smart. But when you do add all the little red bits and this particular styling element, the red bits from the concept, it's a nice carryover. You got the red stripe, of course, for GT line. It does tend to look a lot more sporty and a little bit different. Fog lamp housing is the same. The DRL and the headlamp, of course, the same. Nice amount of muscle in the hood. These are things I've already mentioned in my first look video. Now, you've also got the red hubcap and the brake calipers, the red stripe on the side. Big auto badging again. So that badge a little bit bigger than what I would have liked. And in fact, on the 7 DCT, it's even bigger. I showed that to you in my first look video as well. But you know what? To each his own. The overall stance, the roof rail, that part is all similar between these two cars. And I'll tell you what, the shape and stance, in fact, and even the musculature and the boxy look, it's more EcoSport-like, not like the rest of the competition at all. And that's a good thing for the Sonet to have its own space in a sense, because let's face it, not too many EcoSports on the road anymore. You've got a LED tail light, and it's got that little heartbeat motif to match what you saw on the DRL. Though, even though it is the heartbeat, they're calling it wild, remember? GT line badge, nice and big, and lots of red elements again to tell you that this is the GT line. Am I biased to the blue color? You bet. But on the blue, you can't get the two-tone. And so that's the other reason why we have the two cars here, so that you get a chance to see how different they both look. And with the two-tone, it does add a certain element to it. I would love the blue to have it. The blue color is called Intelligence-y blue, if you please. Intense red. Not so intense is what the red is called. And of course, no points for guessing. You get the two-tone only on the top variants.
That two-tone is only available on red, white and gold, and not all colors. If you ask me, a blue with white roof or white with blue roof would look badass. Oh wait, I'm not allowed to say that word, am I? Let's get the cars on the road. I will begin with the one I have been dying to drive, the diesel automatic.
So there's two iterations of this 1.5-litre CRDI engine, the WGT and the VGT. The WGT is on the manual. It gives you 99 bhp of power, and the VGT, the one I have right now, gives you 113 bhp. So it's a little bit more powerful. It also gives you 10 Nm extra torque, which is kind of evident because it's nice and satisfying on the torque front. Something that it shares with the turbo petrol, but we'll get to the turbo petrol in a bit. First, let me tell you a little bit more about this. Now, here's the thing. Having an automatic in this segment on a diesel, that in itself is a huge USP. To me, it's a master stroke because it's the one thing that was kind of missing. And it's not just any automatic. It's not an AMT. It's not some 4-speed gearbox that's been sort of plonked in to keep pricing in mind. No, it's a good 6-speed modern torque converter, and so it's satisfying, it's quick shifting, it's smooth, and it also downshifts quite quickly to give you that little quick response when you need it.
The diesel is powerful and will, in my opinion, command a large share of the buyer's attention. If priced well, so will the automatic.
Get in and start driving the Sonet, and straight away you get that sense of being in an SUV. A lot of people are going to like that because it's planted and yet it has this exaggerated height to it. You know, the commanding position as a driver that you get, the view of the road, the sense of being a little taller. That's all very evident. It does take away a little bit from the handling though, and so yes, on corners etc. you feel a bit of roll because of that characteristic. So if you want a very sporty sort of a car in this segment, maybe this isn't for you, but it does do a good job of giving you a good amount of ride comfort and decent handling along with that sense of being an SUV.
Tall and aggressive. Yes, that is why people buy an SUV after all. And given its mostly urban usage, I don't think the Achilles heel in the handling department will bother most people. The steering though should have been adjustable for reach and not just height. Driver seat height and overall adjustment though is good. Okay, diesel done. Time to check out the petrol. And no, we do not have the 1.2 petrol today, only the more progressive and more powerful 3-cylinder 1-liter turbo GDI. Peppy, fun, energetic and torquey, the 1-liter turbo does not disappoint. Like on the diesel, the car does feel a tad bouncy over bad roads, but on the whole, ride comfort and handling stays satisfactory even on this car. You have the same engine on the turbo variants of the Hyundai Venue, Grand i10 Neos, Aura and Verna. There too, the focus remains on sporty performance. This engine definitely has a sportier feel over the diesel, and the 7-speed DCT would be quicker on the shifts on the auto side. But I am glad to test the much touted new IMT or Intelligent Manual Transmission.
That was a little warning to tell me that I need to shift down. Now that's something that I've already shown you on how an IMT works with the sister car, the Venue. So if you want to know more about just the IMT, I urge you to watch that video. But I'll tell you what, this whole idea of bringing IMT could be just like a master stroke for Kia and for Hyundai, because if it catches on, other manufacturers will be compelled to offer something similar, because it does take away the fatigue and still lets you retain the control, the fun element of driving a manual. And so, what's not to like? It's also fairly easy to get used to. I suspect once you start driving this, you may not want to go back to a regular manual anymore.
The IMT is quick to get used to, a lot more fun than a regular manual, and definitely a welcome addition to the lineup. It is bold that Kia is only going IMT on the 1-liter GDI and not manual, but it's a smart strategy in my opinion.
So now there are a few things you only get at the top end, and in fact some only on the GTX Plus when it comes to safety, like the 6 airbags, but you do get dual airbags, ABS, in some variants ESC as well as standard. And then there's something that this segment has not seen before, which is the emergency braking tail light flashing function, which is always nice to have.
The Sonet is well loaded, but inexplicably the 6 airbag option is only on the GTX Plus. So if you want light interiors and the HDX Plus trim, for instance, too bad, you can't have them. Same for the front parking sensors, which are only on the GTX Plus. Rear sensors are standard, while the reverse camera starts from the HDK Plus trim.
Now there's a bunch of features on this car that are segment first as well. There's a lot loaded into it, like, hello Kia, open driver side window.
Opening the driver's window.
That's convenient when you're driving up to, say, a toll booth. Hello Kia, close driver side window.
Closing the driver's window.
So there are a lot more features like this on this car, and Shams has that lowdown for you.
The list of features is long inside the Sonet, but right now let's focus on segment first features this car gets. And let's begin with this big 10.25-inch touchscreen that comes with a lot of features. It's compatible with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Uvo Connect. Kingshuk, of course, will tell you a little more about this screen in some time. Apart from that, some more segment first features. A nice Bose premium surround sound system that you will only see in the Sonet. You get ventilated seats, 3 different levels. Again, a novelty. You will not see this in any other car in this segment. 2 more things. We've seen this in the Venue actually. Now air purifier is there, but this one comes with virus protection, which Kia says is in fact the first in the world, not even the country or the segment. And finally, your wireless charger. Now this one also you've seen in the Venue, but the special thing here is that Kia says it comes with a cooling function. It keeps your phone cool during the charging process. You actually need this feature for a lot of other things as well, apart from just the phone, but for the time being, the phone gets a cooling function while wireless charging.
Of course, most of this is only at the top end. You can now connect 2 phones to the system using Bluetooth, so you can use one for, say, music and the other for connectivity, but we had trouble pairing both. The 10.25-inch touchscreen is only on the GTX Plus and HTX Plus. The next 2 variants get an 8-inch screen, and the base 2 variants get only a 2-DIN system. The instruments get a smart 4.2-inch screen that shows you everything from tire pressure to trip details. On the entry variant, it is a monochromatic screen.
So this is always a challenge being on the second row of a sub 4 meter or a subcompact SUV space. Now if you have 2 6 feet tall people sitting inside this car, one behind the other, this is what you're getting. So that seat is adjusted according to my driving style, and there's hardly any room left for me. The thigh support also can be slightly better for somebody of my height, but most people will feel comfortable with that respect. You also have a center armrest. Your personal AC vents are there as well. So overall you feel quite comfortable here, and the headroom also is quite decent. In fact, it is quite impressive according to my height, so that's good. This is the air purifier I was talking about. Beautiful weather right now. It's showing an AQI of only 21, so which is very good. You feel happy seeing that figure. And finally, if you want an option of choosing your seat fabric or seat color, so in the GT line you only have this one option where you have an all black interior. But in the Tech line variants, you can actually choose from 4 different options and get different seats according to your liking.
Kia claims segment best legroom and front headroom. The rear USB charging point and AC vent are standard. The base 2 versions get a manual AC, while the rest have climate control. There is an umbrella holder in the door and plenty of storage options. Now, Kingshuk has more.
Kia claims that the 392-litre boot space in the Sonet is actually best in segment. Now let me show you one more thing. I'm talking about the Kia Uvo feature. It's a connected car like the Seltos and the Carnival, and let's see how this works. So let me unlock the car first. There you go. So there you see, the car is unlocked. Let's try and start the engine.
Unlike the Seltos or Venue, the Sonet's remote start works on the manual too, not just the automatic. The Sonet's UVO Connect app also lets you use telematics to geo-fence your car, check its status like remaining driving range, and a lot more. This is similar to what we have seen on the Seltos and Hyundai's connected models.
So in case you don't want to use the Kia UVO Connect app on your phone to start the engine and start on the air conditioning, you can always use the key fob. You can turn on the engine and the air conditioning using this key fob. The idea is to cool the cabin on hot summer days, which are very frequent in India.
This key-related function is available on the top 3 variants and only works from 30 meters or closer. So that is quite the fully loaded car, isn't it? You have to tell us what you think.
IMT, DCT, auto, manual, two-tone roof, tech line, GT line. Lots of options. There's diesel and petrol, of course, and 2 petrol engines. So really, you could go crazy trying to figure out which variant works for you. But remember, most of those variants, they're going to be stacked up on this side. So if you like the light interior, you're going to stay with the tech line anyway. But if you want something that's sporty and right at the top end with all the bells and whistles and the goodies thrown in, then it's going to be the GT line for you. So that is, in a nutshell, everything we know about the Sonet. What we don't know, prices. Now, I expect Kia to be competitive, but we'll find out the actual prices on the 18th of September.